let's introduce ourselves to Nina Jankowicz. Nina Jankowicz is Joe Biden's pick to head up the newly formed Disinformation Governance Board. She's been working at the Wilson Center, which is a sort of like quasi-government think tank. She has spoken highly of Christopher Steele, the author of the discredited Trump dossier, and she has also spread the misinformation, ironically, that the Biden laptop was a Russian sort of October surprise. All right, this is the person who is heading up the Disinformation Governance Board. But wait, it gets better. And by it gets better, I mean it gets much better. Here she is. She is also, by the way, and this is not even a joke, a student of musical theater. And she brings her musical theater sort of expertise to use.
I'll one up you. She was in a band, a Harry Potter tribute band called the Moaning Myrtles.
That's true, isn't it? Right?
Oh yeah, no,
that's not a joke. Yeah, no, I know.
No. You can find videos on YouTube of the Moaning Myrtles singing just the most god awful, like "I love you, Harry Potter" kind of songs. Like,
yeah, and
Harry Potter, you taught me to be brave. You know, really, like stuff like that.
I mean, if you couldn't guess already, this is just a comically partisan pick to head the Disinformation Governance Board. This is not a joke. This is an actual TikTok video.
It's not a satire.
No, this is real that she put out.
We did not arrange this.
No, but you're not going to believe this. Those who have not seen this are not going to believe this, but this is real.
Laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared bad intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain, they're laundering disinfo, and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice, or vote. Oh, information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origin seems slightly less atrocious.
Does anybody want to see that again?
So she was a musical theater major? I didn't even know that.
I don't know if she was a major, but she is a musical theater enthusiast. I mean, look, she could sing fairly good enough. Maybe that's her calling. That's her calling. But being the referee of what is and is not disinformation, certainly not her calling, since she has a record of not only supporting disinformation when it favors the Democrats, but also, I mean, look at that. We should not support them with our whatever voice or vote. I mean, this is
wallet, voice, or vote.
This is a naked resistance lib who he picked to head the Disinformation Governance Board.
You know what really shows how just much in their own little world they live? Look, when they were vetting her, they had to have seen that video. And it seems to me,
they don't care. Right. They were like, this is good.
Thought, oh, this
will work.
Yeah. Right. Like the fact that they didn't look at that and just all would take a beat and go, Tucker's gonna have a field day with this. Yeah. You know, like, what did you think? Like, people are gonna see that and go, oh wow, she's so great. I mean, I guess the assholes who write them checks will, and those are the only people they talk to.
Let me tell you something. So I guess I'll plug this, even though it's 6 months out. We are going to have an election night watch party for the midterms. And it's a lot of fun. We go all night. We do an 8-hour stream, an 8-hour show. We bust out the pizza and beer. We have the whole thing. We do the maps. We put the maps on the screen with the vote tallies. I get my little Steve Kornacki game going. I beat a guy at the board. We crunch the numbers. It's a lot of fun. I guarantee you, as the Democrats are being just bent over a wooden table and railed, we will be playing that video as a reminder of how they got there. When it comes to this disinformation board here, I think it's worth noting before we get a little bit more in depth about it. I haven't heard anyone on the left just come out and say, quite frankly, simply, this is a bad idea. Nobody has really had the guts to come out against this. I think there's two reasons for that. Number one, I think a lot of them are for it.
It's true.
And number two, I think a lot of people who are not for it are afraid of being branded, a Putin apologist or a closet Trumpist or sort of a water carrier for the alt-right. Nobody has the guts to just come out and say, this is actually sounding like a really dystopian idea.
Oh, come on, Keith. It's not like the Democrats are ever going to lose power and that department is going to be taken over by their political enemies.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, that's the other thing.
How could that happen? That will never happen. You're not going to potentially have Donald Trump running your Ministry of Truth going forward now that you've set it up and established a precedent that that's all kosher. No, of course not. This is a grand old idea. Listen, this is what we were talking about offline too. I don't know where my political home is, but it's not with these fucking morons. It is not with these dipshits. I am not a Democrat. I'm a real leftist, but I don't know what these people are. I'm not any left that I recognize. If you are a left that does not have a problem with them setting up a government department within the already Orwellian Department of Homeland Security to manage disinformation the same week that your fucking former president is straight out saying the government should take control of the algorithms and the algorithms should be open to the government so that they can see how decisions about who gets platformed are being made. If you're looking at all that and going, goddamn Putin, I don't know what you are, but you are not a leftist. You are not a leftist by any meaningful definition of that term. If you're sitting there shitting yourself about Elon Musk buying Twitter, but that Barack Obama speech at Stanford did not chill your blood, I don't know what you are, but you are not a leftist. Stop calling yourself that.
Well, look, when it comes to disinformation, right, we have this new sort of agency within an agency being set up. Now you have Obama go out and talk about the threat to democracy posed by social media, disinformation on social media. I would just pose this challenge to Barack Obama, Joe Biden, this Nina Jankowicz. What policy that should be passed has not been passed because of disinformation? In other words, how has the spread of disinformation actually inhibited any sort of governing from taking place? It hasn't.
They would argue that's what got Trump elected. That would be their argument.
Well, no. That's if you're talking about an election, yes, maybe it sways an election. But now that Joe Biden is in power, what has Joe Biden not done that he could have done were it not for online misinformation? That is a question they cannot answer. There is no answer for that question. And this is what this all reveals. You have an impotent government that is crippled by a corrupt system that cannot lead and cannot govern, and they need an outlet for their anger about that, frustration about that. They need a scapegoat for that. And that scapegoat is disinformation. There is not one single thing that Joe Biden has not done that he could have done were it not for disinformation. You want to talk about it swaying elections, swaying votes? Different issue. Different issue. The point is, this government is failing, and they're failing because our political system is completely broken. They are not failing to govern because of idiots and wackos spreading quote-unquote disinformation online. That's just a deflection. They're just using that to distract attention from the fact that they cannot lead. They cannot govern.
Please clap.